Hello, on the sidelines fans. I'm your host, as always, Cameron Capobianco. Joining me once again, returning to the podcast, is President of Toronto FC, Bill Manning. Bill, thank you so much out of your busy schedule to do this interview with me once again. Nice having you back on the show.
My pleasure, Cameron.
So, just to start off, your thoughts on the start to this 2023 MLS season for Toronto FC. You guys drew a game, you won a game, you lost two at the start, but seems things seem to be picking up for Toronto FC now.
Yeah, we actually only lost the first game, which was a gut punch. We gave up a goal and we came back. We scored two, had the game and gave up a goal in the 90th minute, and then again a goal literally right at the final whistle to lose that game 3-2 on the road. A little bit soft defending. But our defense is what's going to keep us in games this year and win games for us. I think Sean Johnson in goal just had his first shutout this weekend. Matt Hedges and Ziggy Rosted at center back are clearly really strong, and they're continuing to gel. Left back Raul Petretta has been a really good pickup. And I think can give us the type of service that Justin Morrow gave us back in the day, and then Richie obviously is Richie, and so defensively I feel really good about this team coming together. And then after the DC game, we had two ties, one at home, one on the road, and those are games a year ago we would have lost. We were outplayed by Atlanta. Stayed in the game. The defense was solid, and then had a good first half versus Columbus. But in the second half, we didn't. When they raised their level and pushed the game a bit, we didn't match that, and we're lucky to, in some ways, to get out with a tie. But again, only letting up one goal, really key. So defensively, very strong. And then this last game, I thought was a real good performance. We scored a couple of goals. We kept the clean sheet, and gives us some momentum now as we go into San Jose this weekend, and then home to Charlotte the following weekend. So 3 games undefeated now. Defensively strong, only 6 goals against. 5 goals against in 4 games. And that's if you're letting up 1.2 goals a game against, you're 1.25, you're gonna win a lot of games. You're gonna be in a lot of games. And so I think eventually the offense will click, especially when Lorenzo comes back. And I think this team's gonna be a good team.
You mentioned, I want to get back into Sean Johnson in just a bit, and also one of your also signings. You mentioned the position of defense. You signed a new defense, which we'll get into in just a bit. But I want to stick on the topic of Italians since you mentioned up Lorenzo Insigne. I want to bring in Federico Bernardeschi, who's been red hot as of late already to start the season. 2 goals, 1 assist. I just want to get your thoughts on the way he's been starting the season off.
Yeah, well, look, that's what you expect. Fede had 2 assists this past weekend. He's got 2 goals, had a PK in the first game, and then had an excellent goal in Atlanta. So 2 goals, 2 assists in 4 games. That's what you need out of your DPs. You need essentially a goal or an assist every game for 34 games. And so Fede is not doing anything that's unexpected. We're glad that he's in good form. He's a good spirit. He is he's dangerous in the final third. And that's an area that I know Bob is continuing to push him to be more involved in the final third because he's so dangerous with his left foot, and really has a powerful shot. And so anywhere within 25 yards, he's dangerous, and defenders can't lay off him because, as you saw in Atlanta, he can put the ball in the back of the net.
Absolutely. And also, too, I always said this even at the start of last season, he has a dangerous left foot, but also that outside foot of his left is also a very dangerous. We've seen him put balls into the box for his players to either get a header on or even a volley off of. But I just want to jump into home opener. What was the atmosphere like sitting there watching home opener start for Toronto FC at BMO Field to kick off a home opener for the 2023 MLS season?
Yeah, it was great. It's cold. It was actually colder this past weekend than the home opener. But there was really good energy. It was a good crowd. it was just really exciting to be back in the building and with this new kind of revamped team. When you look at the starting lineup in 2023 versus our home opener in 2022, only Jonathan Osorio and Michael Bradley were in the starting lineup for both. So it really shows much different complexion of the team from the summer editions that we had, obviously with Federico and with Mark Anthony and with Richie, and then this winter with Sean and Matt and Raul and Ziggy. So a lot of change, but we think a lot of good change. And then as is part of our plan, is this will be a group that stays together. As we build stability here and consistency towards winning, and then hopefully we can fill our trophy case a bit more as this group gels and matures more.
Absolutely. So, with the game against San Jose, like you mentioned, coming up this weekend, how do you guys keep the momentum of that home opener win to go into San Jose and possibly walk away with all 3 points?
Yeah, look, playing on the road is never easy. And we lose 4 players this weekend, and we lose our 3 Canadian internationals, Richie Laria, Mark Anthony Kay, and Jonathan Osorio. But then we also lose Io Akinola, who just had returned this past weekend, and is a really good young player for us. And so you're missing those players, but this is why we brought back a guy like Victor Vasquez, who can step into the lineup. Very, very experienced player, and we don't think we'll see any difference there. It's an opportunity for Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy, who's been the last month or so, Bob will say, has had a really good, been really good in training, and good young player. And DeAndre Kerr scored a goal in our home opener, which was great, and has been very serviceable up front the last few games, and so he'll likely see that position again. And so we just have to defensively again, with the exception of Richie, our defense will all be there. That's going to keep us in games. And on the road, what you want to do is you really want to be solid defensively, and then you take advantage of your chances, which we still have Federico out there, obviously Victor coming in, and DeAndre, and hopefully we can get the full 3 points from a San Jose team that they've won both their home games, they've lost both their road games, and so it'll be difficult with them being at home.
Absolutely. So, like you mentioned earlier, a whole new team pretty much. Alex Bono, Quentin Westberg not there anymore as your goalkeepers, but you did bring in Sean Johnson. Through the first 4 games, how have you been finding that Sean has been fitting into this TFC goalkeeping role?
Sean is great. His leadership was apparent from the first time I met him. He's very vocal. He's building good rapport with Matt and with Ziggy especially. I thought this weekend he was excellent. He made a save in the first half, which some goalies wouldn't have made. It took a little bounce before it came to him, and he was able to parry it wide. And those are the type saves you need big time keepers to make. And so I think this past weekend the clean sheet was the first of many for him, and so he's been everything that we were hoping for.
Absolutely. And then the other guy I wanted to bring up, you mentioned defense just right off the bat, can win you games. I want to bring up the new signing they made just a while back, which was Christian Gutierrez from the Vancouver Whitecaps. I just want to know, what did you like about his game that made you want to bring him into this TFC squad?
Well, Christian is a guy that the coaches liked. We did some, he had a little bit of a falling out there in Vancouver, and the coaches made sure they talked to a number of different people that were around the team or within the team, and to find out what was going on there. He has played, I think, over 100 games already in MLS, and so he has some experience. Still 26 years old, and sometimes it's the the fit doesn't always work out, and sometimes moving into a different location, a different team, can help a player. And so at the end of the day, we felt it was an opportunity for us to bring in Christian, a very little risk to us on our salary cap, still the right age, good player. He played against us in the past, and so we're hopefully this will be an environment here at TFC where he can contribute and thrive.
Absolutely. Well, Bill, thank you so much for joining me again on this episode of On the Sidelines. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this interview once again, and good luck this weekend against San Jose.
All right, thanks, Cameron. My pleasure. Bye-bye.
But guys, Bill Manning, president of Toronto FC. I'm Cameron Capobianco. We'll catch you guys next time.